Well, good morning and a happy Monday morning to you. I've been thinking about things as I often do. Today, I'm going to talk about mental straitjackets. What could I be meaning there? Well, it's interesting to explore and talk about the world that is around the corner. Some of it's here, some of it's coming. And in the geospatial world, we're really, and I've spoken about this in other talks, we now have tsunami of different types of data coming from satellites and beyond. So we've got the data. We've got the ability to process and analyze that data through AI. We've got geoprocessing, which can take that processed data and do more clever things with it to produce some analytics. So not just analytics against the data, actual analytics you can potentially do in the software that you've got. And now we've got the emergence of this new interface with Magic Leap, which has been around for a few years now, and this Vision Pro. Now, I've said that that's 5 years ahead, but the SDK, people are now building stuff against those new interfaces today. And Apple have announced the fact they're going to introduce a new marketplace for like a new app store for that product. So you need to start planning today. But I feel as though we sort of live in this mental straitjacket place where we only do the things that we know that we can do. So we live within our own constraints. So the product that we've got, we push that. The data that we've got, we're trying to find places for that. So we're kind of using old models. And I think that this new world that's emerging, and I haven't mentioned generative AI, that's another piece of this puzzle which opens new possibilities. It's really opening one's mind to what the possibilities are. Now, this is not an academic exercise. This is much more a market-driven exercise. And so when I've seen folks in organizations, too often they're engineering-led. Too often it's engineers that say, this is a great idea, let's build it. And you build something, it becomes an MVP that never goes anywhere. So it has to be market-led, but people have to begin to explore the wider possibilities of where spatial is going, not lean back on old business models, not continually going after defense dollars, for example, which a lot of folks tend to do. Where are those new marketplaces? Where are those new needs that we can go to? It's widening our thinking and exploring those areas. And I think that it's really important to now start thinking in terms of engagements which are around discovery. I think consulting is a really interesting place. I'm beginning to see the emergence of consulting. Matt Lewin and the guys in Canada are doing some really interesting stuff there. But more broadly, consulting is an exploration with customers about where they are today and where potentially they could be tomorrow. So consulting helps sort of find those gaps. I also think sort of discovery, if we clear our minds and say, let's explore the world and think of it from a geospatial perspective, what can we do with all this data, all this new algorithms through AI, this easier access to answer questions through generative AI, geoprocessing, which we know is complex if you use an ArcGIS Pro or open source equivalents. How do we automate some of that stuff so we can actually find out what those problems are, leverage the data we've got, take all of that and magically produce answers to questions without necessarily needing the manual parts of that process? So I've covered a lot here. I think my overall theme here is mental straitjackets, is broadening our thinking. It's not fishing in the same ponds. We live in a geospatial world, a spatial world, let's call it that. We now have new technologies which are enabling technologies. What do we do with those new technologies? I think we're beginning to slowly look at that, but let's speed up. My focus is wholly on what's coming next and how do we best leverage that. And it's not like 5, 6, 7, 8 years time. We need to be preparing for this today and employing those mechanisms to actually tease out problems in different verticals and find out how we can best apply this and hold the hands of folks that have got problems and guide them down that path. So my Monday talk is a motivational talk. Let's get at it, people. As ever, thanks for watching. Any comments you've got, I always welcome them, and I'll do another talk maybe at the end of the week. Thanks for watching.